the side. They're generally becoming a good prolific player, always nice to see. And yeah, they're flexing a 𝗬𝗵 flank, so this is already kind of a spectacle. If nothing else, we have the 𝗬𝗵 war between our two contestants. Definitely a very aggressive team once again, though. We're seeing a lot of these hyper aggro teams return to the fore in this particular game, despite a lot of people saying beforehand that they never make finals, they never make it past top cut. But here we are with another 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 𝗧𝗵𝗶 game at like so much. It's another bag full of knives right here, just staring 𝗵𝗸 in the face.
Yeah, we'll see. Quarter, maybe this solidifies that 𝗬𝗵's just give you a little bit extra a little extra oomph in the gas tank for your teams there. Both of these guys getting into the finals. But hey, jokes aside, 𝗵𝗶 does get picked up as it is a reasonable Temtem. Not per se into effective damage, but just P-jabs can make can go a long way. And we don't know, since we didn't spectate Holy side, if this is going to be a tireless 𝗵𝗶. But of course, a Toucan is going to be effective damage onto 𝗵𝗶. Something like as easy a Windburst Tornado, usually enough to take a 𝗵𝗶 all the way down if it's not too special defense invested. So Holy has to be a bit careful. Who does he want to pair up and get the counter pick? He doesn't have the best options. Maybe 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 for the Toucan, maybe 𝗬𝗏. I think 𝗬𝗏 isn't bad. Since fire isn't online for the next 2 turns, it could be a good turn.
Oh man, we actually see a very ballsy 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 come out here instead. I agree with you on the 𝗬𝗏, incidentally. I think that even with the heater, you don't have as much pressure onto that 𝗬𝗏. If it was a special 𝗬𝗏 especially, you'd be able to get the madness buff off most likely. But instead, we wind up seeing that 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 come down, potentially just trying to call some bluffs here and get carve some holes into that Tolkien, recognizing the threat that it is. But 𝗬𝗏 incidentally banning the other Tolkien and just trying to grab the reins here, even though his entire waters have been banned. So that's the 𝗦𝗂𝗽𝗍 and the 𝗂𝗶𝗵. We definitely see how Holy 𝗬𝗵 kind of wants to lean on this with that fire quash in the back, with nothing really to check it excessively hard outside of the Nidrisil and the 𝗵𝗶.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting game. And yeah, you're right. So just wants to try to minimize the amount of threats onto 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 or the amount of Temtems that can absorb those 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 punches. Well, hey, let's just see how it ends up panning out. Holy 𝗬𝗵. And yeah, I don't recognize the flag there, but it looks like a beautiful club flag. But heater, of course, such a good trait, mitigating 30% reduction on all damage output on that opening play. So that aquatic whirlwind, if he does want to throw it onto Toucan, might not be taking it down. Without that, I have seen Toucans go all the way from 100 down to 0. But maybe you still don't want to take it. I think a swap out to Nidrisil kind of ideal. I mean, 𝗵𝗶 doesn't like a Nidrisil narco hit turn 2, so we could be seeing that. Does Holy want to swap out his 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 though?
See, what I'm kind of expecting here is that this is attempting to be a trade, right? So this is 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 for Tolkien. That's what Holy 𝗬𝗵's trying to throw out here. Just trying to go for the aquatic whirlwind into the Tolkien and exchanging that for the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺. Oh, and the 𝗵𝗵 stealing the Ragnet is actually pretty significant here too. Still though, if we see the Nidrisil come in here, that could be pretty frightening. But no, we see the 𝗂𝗟𝗓, which is even worse given what we just saw get stolen, because now not only does that give mirroring back onto this 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺, but next turn we also see the devastating Crystal Bite potentially coming down on that 𝗵𝗵, as the Electric Custodian, however, does protect the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 for this turn.
Yeah, not too bad. So brilliant stuff for Holy, using that 𝗵𝗵 to perfection. As you mentioned, Electric Custodian saving the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 from taking maybe a devastating blow. 82, kind of reasonable for an E-punch to go all the way down, especially considering how much of a glass cannon that 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗺 can be. But 𝗵𝗸, I don't know if he caught wind of this potential 𝗵𝗵 play, but either way, it ended up working out beautifully. As you mentioned, Crystal Bite now online, and I think 78%, that's not high enough for 𝗂𝗟𝗓, or not high enough for this 𝗵𝗵 to absorb that 𝗂𝗟𝗓's attack. Maybe swapping into 𝗂𝗀𝗶𝗆, but 𝗵𝗸 doubling up onto that spot. Might be catching that 𝗂𝗀𝗶𝗆 with his pants down, but no, everything stays in. So 𝗧𝗵𝗺𝗺's Wrath coming through. Let's see how much it's going to do on 𝗵𝗸's Tems.
So once again, we're going to see a bunch of mirroring chip go down in here onto the 𝗬𝗧𝗺. The crystal bite, of course, coming down as well, absolutely leveling this Mimit. And from that, we're also going to see a charged iron filings coming out. I was wondering if that was going to be the move that we were going to see there, because if, as you said, the fire 𝗬𝗃 was going to try to come out to try to eat that crystal bite, then a charged iron filings would have taken two things down in one fell swoop. This does, however, mean that Holy Snoopy is able to reposition this board into the devastating fire 𝗬𝗃 move flank combo that we've seen take so many games.
Yeah, you know, that combo alone, looking at the entirety of Pduke's lineup, there's only one Temtem that could try to really fight that combo off, and that's going to be the 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗴, I believe, right? 𝗬𝗵 from someone said it was from an anime, I haven't caught it. But yeah, 𝗬𝗵𝗆, probably the best, but it's tireless, so it won't be a parrier. So, you know, those physical attacks dishing out from this move flank, they're going to start adding up. So, Holy, even though just got two Temtems knocked out, not in the worst position. He's looking like Holy, looking like he has the speed advantage with that 𝗧𝗵𝗆, and move flank, such a truck of a Temtem, really get steamrolling with those base jump gorings. Maybe that's what Holy has in mind here. Let's see how far it's gonna take him in this game one.
Well, I definitely agree with you that the aggression coming out here is going to be pretty monstrous. We do see the hurry wart come down as well, so this is also a big concern for Pduke here. You want to save your Ragnet to try to get that 𝗬𝗄 electric blow off later, because I can expect that these two Tems are going to both outspeed it and body that Ragnet before it's able to blink. So with that in mind, the next question is, do you try to swap? Do you lose all your tempo trying to swap and not even attempting to get an attack off and getting caught out by the potential of a cage? We've seen so many cages come down turn one from these move flanks lately, just trapping people into a board in which 𝗬𝗃 can slaughter them. And this is definitely the kind of board that would be pretty dangerous for. The 𝗬𝗧 can get off scot-free here. That can swap out, and a Tolkien seems like a pretty reasonable swap into a potential 𝗬𝗪𝗈 on that spot, but this Ragnet is kind of looking caught out in the open here.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the mind games are real. As you mentioned, 𝗬𝗪𝗈 protecting the 𝗬𝗧 from staying in. But I'm not too sure. I feel like Holy should just attack. Forget the cage. I mean, wherever he attacks is going to be doing some neutral damage. The only exception being that fire 𝗬𝗃, as you mentioned, can be eaten up quite well from the Toucan and potentially that 𝗵𝗃 as well. But we'll see. I mean, cage, just to kill that 22% Ragnet, I guess just to prevent those E-punches going into 𝗬𝗃 could be nice. But maybe just being, you know, more aggressive, because you are a bit behind. So we'll see what Holy decides to do, and decides on the goring just to take it out before.
Yep. No, it's the thing is, it's the potential threat of that is the other side of that. Like, I agree with you that is definitely a good thing that happened there, just being able to wipe this board clean, as we can see. The concern there is just the presence of that hurry wart symbol at the beginning of the turn sows that seed of doubt into the opposing player's mind. It's, do I even have the option to swap out? The moment that that's there, that changes the order of play for Pduke.
Yeah, the mind games get very real considering that cage potential. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just something that these tamers have to consider. But all right, 𝗵𝗃 and hey, both of these Luma Temtems making their appearance in the same board. But Toucan, perhaps expecting something like the water cannon coming in, does swap into the toxic of the Yggdrasil. So base jump into ice cubes. Okay, so saving a bit of stamina here.
Oh, that might be rough, actually, as it just survives the combination of those two attacks. The problem is now, if we just see a rotation right back into the Tolkien, that could still be really frightening here. We do still have a 𝗵𝗃 of Holy Snoopy's own in the back, so we could actually see Pduke just be like, okay, you know what? I don't even care. I'll sacrifice my Yggdrasil, given this is the board it actually cares about. Sure, I've got that narc hit for the 𝗵𝗃 in the back, but you want to know what else kills 𝗵𝗃 and doesn't have to take damage on this board? Tolkien. That's a great thing to not take damage here. So we could see, like, this feels like another potential bluff turn where it's like, do I rotate out for that, or do I sit in expecting this 𝗬𝗪𝗈? Do I trade my Yggdrasil for this 𝗬𝗃? Holy Snoopy doesn't give him that option, though, so he just hard swaps the 𝗵𝗃 in. Now that feels like a focused spot, and sure, it's not going to be taking much damage from those hits, but I'm not sure you want to necessarily just get them, like, in there for nothing. As the narc hit goes down on the move flank, that combo would have probably taken down that snake.
Yeah, not too bad. So just expecting the uppercut to be enough, and it surely was at 3%. But I think the big difference maker is, as you said a little bit earlier, 𝗂𝗏 just hanging out in the back line, healthy as can be, 100 HP, single-handedly enough to take down the 𝗧𝗃. And from these HP that the move flank and the 𝗂𝗏 is currently at, I believe something with tornadoes able to outspeeds. But hey, let's see how it plays out. The goring or the base jump enough to take it down, and P jab onto the 𝗧𝗃, just trying to whittle it away. Yeah, I still think 𝗂𝗏 wins these in the end game, even though it's 3 Temtems. That 𝗂𝗏 virtually already dead, and 𝗂𝗏 so nice and healthy, and move flank running out of stamina as well.
Yeah, the HP differential is real here, and that move flank doing a lot has kind of put it in an awkward position here. It does still have enough stamina actually to not overexert from this goring and do 50% to this Tolkien. But this Tolkien, despite not having its wind burst up, is it actually going to go down? It goes down before it's even able to move. We may have spoken too soon, plus, as that Tolkien just gets wiped.
Yeah,
as the uppercut comes down on this move flank, but it's not quite got enough oomph behind it yet.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff coming out from Holy Snoopy. Of course, this is why Tireless is so impactful.
Gonna be able to steal it with this one.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, that was incredibly close, but it looks like Holy had a game plan the entire time, and he's found himself 1 game up, which makes him 1 game away from being crowned our Qualifiers number 5 champion. Well, hey, 𝗵𝗸 making it all the way here. I know he's not going to go down without a fight, so let's see how he wants to try to bring things back. So it looks to be the same bans from game 1, right? It was Nagas and the Tokon. Okay, so far staying about the same, except 𝗵𝗸 now has the counter pick, I believe. Yeah, I think it was counter pick.
Ooh, the double move flank, though, with no mentals outside of a 𝗧𝗏 feels pretty awkward for 𝗵𝗸 to actually move into here. Honestly, I almost like a very aggressive pick into this, like the 𝗧𝗵𝗆, but there's so much in the back line that would be very frustrating for that. 𝗵𝗸 instead goes for the 𝗧𝗏. It's probably going to take a lot of heat off of this board. Double move flank can really put in the pressure, but I think that like this 𝗧𝗏 is bound to get at least 1 narcoleptic hit off. They tend to be built very sturdy these days. If we see a P jab, actually no, I think we've seen all the moves off of this Ragnet, and it doesn't have a P jab, but I mean obviously those electro hits are still going to be hitting very hard indeed.
Yeah, we'll see. And you know, if it's something like base jump, goring, I don't know if the 𝗧𝗏 makes it to that turn 2, or you know, makes it to that 1 prio narcoleptic hit. So we'll see. 𝗵𝗸 has to be careful, because as we mentioned before, move flank just packs such a big punch. So I think if you don't go goring turn 1, even though 𝗧𝗵𝗆 is active, I think just keeping it kind of simple there. Base jump into that double goring turn 2. I think that's pretty much enough to knock out every Temtem in the game, except for the ones that take half effective, which would be mental Temtems, of course. So we'll see. We do see the tireless 𝗧𝗃 get banned out by 𝗵𝗸 this time. He correctly recognizes the fact that that thing could be a nightmare if it pops off in the same way again. And the juxtaposition between that as a defensive pivot for the 𝗬𝗏 really hobbled his momentum in the late game last time. So he's trying to make sure that does not happen again. However, that does allow this 𝗬𝗏𝗁 to come through. While there's a couple things here that can just immediately end 𝗬𝗁𝗁's life the moment it enters the board, we've seen Holy Snoopy's been really good at making sure that the threats that he needs are on the board when he needs them. And we could very easily see that again this game. Yeah, let's see. I believe someone in chat just mentioned that 𝗵𝗵 won't get the 𝗧𝗵𝗆 trait. I've actually never seen that interaction myself, so we'll take a look. It looks like it did prog landing transmog, but yeah, I didn't see
that's a thing.
𝗧𝗵𝗆. Either way, it looks like the base jump would have been a bit more ideal anyways, just to have that double goring the next turn. So let's see, does he want to pressure out the 𝗧𝗏, or does he find the Ragnet that's effective damage into every single thing in his back line a bit more the priority? I want to say it potentially is, since he has the big 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 in the back. And hey, maybe 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 catching wind of that swaps out to the parrier 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, or not parrier, but tireless 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Yeah, it does look like we will actually see a turn 1 Goring go straight into that, bringing it down to 25%. Alongside the base jump, it's going to be bringing it down to almost half, but honestly, I think that's better than letting that damage land on the Ragnet. As you said, that Ragnet is so valuable in everything that 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has in the back. Keeping that safe, and the fact that no damage went down onto the Ninjasoul this turn means that there's a reasonable potential for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to turn this around. Now, that said, that is a ton of damage onto the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and this isn't the kind of board in which you want to comfortably bring in a lot of what's in the back line, although we do get to see this 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 hit the field again for the first time in a while there. We haven't seen this since the first game against 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, so that'll be lovely. And that despite being very dangerous into the back line there, obviously the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 tearing this 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 apart, the OCR doing way too much to it, but it is a very strong answer to the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which can only really water cannon or ice cubes it.
Wait, Quarter, is 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 on the board? Did my game crash? Or wait,
no, I'm saying in the back for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Oh, I was about to say, wait a second. I thought my game just crashed for a second.
No, you're good. You're good.
Forgive me. Yeah, you're speaking in hypothetical. Of course. 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 still a very strong temp. Only available, only good answer would be the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So let's see. 𝗵𝗏𝗏 does retreat, expecting something like that narco hit in just to get tornadoes online. Does bring in the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So here we go. Oh, you know, you were speaking it into existence, Quarter. The 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 does come in, so base jump does connect on the 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So tornado looking to be more than enough to take down the 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, or potentially just a simple beta burst. But just to actually, yeah, beta burst save the tornado for the potential 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So that lean 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looking like such a good swap out for 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 there. Beautiful read, beautiful recognition of the potential plays coming through. And yeah, not really taking much damage from both of these Tems, or just being able to outspeed both of these Tems. Exception being the 3 prio 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 wreck that can be coming out, but is not a heat up wreck, so not looking to kill in one shot potentially.
I see this as bait, actually, at this point. Like, yeah, sure, you wanted to set up to get the wreck off this turn. The PJAB obviously is signposting that as well. But with a 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 staring you in the face, you kind of have to acknowledge that that's a massive problem. And the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the obvious swap in here. We know it's mirroring against what loves coming in on these kinds of hits, softening up Tems that are otherwise kind of troublesome to take down from their 100% mark. And, well, Lean the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 here is definitely a candidate for all of those things, and especially given that the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which is likely to survive a single tornado, is most definitely going to want to be able to clap back with a sharp stabs or a crystal bite, which alongside a wastewater into that spot would mean that the best defensive pivot for that, the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, wouldn't be able to come in.
Yeah, we will see. I wonder if he just targets the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 expecting the swap, but oh, no swaps today. The cage keeping everything in, but it looks like 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had no intention of swapping out. So it goes for the 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, doing about 33% on the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So beta burst looking to close things out on the 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And then, man, he probably doesn't even have to go for tornado, but oh, maybe does now. Because yeah,
oh boy,
yeah, very close to going down. That would have actually been pretty big if 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had no direct answers. Oh, by 1% could have been a big difference maker. Not too big, but we'll see. I mean, now tornado looking to outspeed everything on the current board. And yeah, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
So I agree with you there for sure. This 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is going to carve a hole before it's done, and that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the shape of that hole. And that's going to be really problematic for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but the Ragnet's looking a bit more free now, getting a turn here to be able to really set up the charged iron filings for next turn for all of the swap ends that are still going to be weak, most likely to electric. Like, you just can easily take down the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 here. You save the move flank, so that way you don't get the 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to come in and immediately steal your Ragnet. The tornado does indeed come down this turn as we expected there. The Goring does go down to get some good juicy damage in on this Ragnet. The Electro Punch does come down just to ensure that this 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 does go down, and most importantly ensuring that the 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 swap in is not there to steal the best win condition that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has, ensuring that this electric damage can just wreak a bloody swath through 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's lineup. Now, the challenge is, can that be sustained when a 𝗲𝗺𝗁 or a 𝗵𝗵 are both likely swap-ins here, and the 𝗦𝘵𝗃𝗃 and 𝗬𝗃 can't necessarily be the best counters to either one of those.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you save the 𝗲𝗺𝗁 just for a little bit, bring out the 𝗵𝗵 just so that you could try to get, I mean, I believe the 𝗵𝗵 would now get 𝗧𝗵𝗺 proc as it is a 𝗧𝗵𝗺 move flank. So it would have Goring. The Goring did 37%, so do 37% more, and then plus a base jump might be enough to take it down. But okay, expecting the 𝗦𝘵𝗃𝗃 does bring in 𝗲𝗺𝗁 now. And okay, fair enough. I was thinking if you just focus the Ragnet now, I feel like 𝗧𝗏 or 𝗲𝗺𝗁 kind of win the game in the end. But hey, it looks like it's towards the end right now, even though we're in turn 5 here.
Yeah, these games are going down like wildfire. This is the joy of these kind of aggressive lineups, is that it doesn't really leave us with much doubt or hanging questions here as the 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗀s just come thick and fast into the Ragnet, as you had assessed. Definitely trying to clear that up before it's even able to blink, and that's precisely what happens. We're still going to see a Toxic Ink come down onto this 𝗲𝗺𝗁 before anything else happens here, but I mean, a lot has happened in that time as the Ragnet is completely gone. I think that may actually be game 2 for 𝗵𝗐𝗐 here. Obviously, I don't want to say everything before it's done, but I don't know precisely how well a 𝗬𝗏 is going to be doing against these hits that we're seeing coming out there when we still have a 𝗵𝗵 and an 𝗬𝗏𝗏 in the back.
Yeah, and hey, 𝗲𝗺𝗁 looking to go down swinging, has the neutral synergy to his side. So he probably throws the 𝗧𝗏𝗁 onto 𝗦𝘵𝗃𝗃 since it's going to be the most effective damage onto the 𝗧𝗏𝗏 in the back, as you mentioned. So 𝗧𝗏𝗏 𝗵𝗵, maybe they're looking to go 2v1 against that 𝗬𝗏. And yeah, Holy Snoopy looking in such a dominant position as it stands. But copying the 𝗬𝗏 here, so doesn't get the neutral synergy. But 𝗬𝗏 only has a little double edge or double gash for that opening turn. So 𝗧𝗏𝗁 still goes first. And he targets the 𝗬𝗏. Wait a second.
This is an interesting turn. Like, the fact... Okay. That 𝗵𝗵's going down now thanks to the poison ticks. I feel like just letting your... I don't know why the move flank swapped there. Unless that was... No, it's still eluding me there. Like, the extra damage from that may yet have been enough to take down the 𝗬𝗏 with the Synergy Master is kind of my one concern there. So I'm like, sure, you don't get any value off of your other boy, and you would have saved it from a narc hit, but the narc hit doesn't take it down, right?
Yeah, you know, this potentially be, I believe, just the 𝗵𝗵 with the Crystal Bite. And then, you know, I think it ends up working out. 𝗧𝗏𝗏 with the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 trait should have Blizzard online. So Blizzard, 𝗧𝗏𝗏 probably doesn't go down to just a single Toxic Ink. Gets a Blizzard off, even though it's a 1 prio. Maybe enough to outspeed, but actually, no, they're still quite speedy, so probably doesn't outspeed. So a hook kick with the Blizzard. This might be looking like a GG. Yeah, hook kick. Toxic Ink. If it kills it, then 𝗵𝗐𝗐 wins. But the Blizzard, how much is it going to do?
That Blizzard is looking like it's going to be clearing up this 𝗦𝘵𝗃𝗃. You are entirely right. From 37%, it's kind of doubtful anything's going to survive the special attack of 𝗬𝗏𝗏, as Holy Snoopy is our champion of this Airborne Archipelago League qualifier.
Number 5. Yeah, congratulations, Holy.